And welcome to another show. Well, it's really sad. The number one issue facing veterans today is suicide. Estimates vary as to how many take their lives each day, but we do know that one is too many. In fact, that's the number the American Legion is focused on. The American Legion wants all Americans to be the one to save one, says Jim Troiola. Veterans serve their country. Now it's our turn to return the favor. And as Veterans Day approaches, American Legion National Commander Vincent J. Jim Troiola is imploring all Americans to be the one and to stop veteran suicide. Welcome, Commander Jim.
Good morning. How are you, Mark?
I'm well, thank you, sir. Commander, we should all be the one to ask veterans how they're doing, right? I mean, to reach out when a veteran is struggling and listen to them when they need to talk, because suicide prevention, it's a top priority for the Legion. But what can be done to stop veterans from taking their own lives? I mean, explain Be the One to us, if you'd be so kind.
Will do. Our biggest challenge in the American Legion, and I'm sure all across the United States, is the amount of veterans taking their own lives. It's actually become a travesty. There's varying numbers every day, 17 a day, 22 a day, 44 a day. And I want people, when they hear about this program, not to concentrate on those numbers so much because they move so much. It's more about saving one veteran's life every day. If we can save one veteran's life every day, I believe that it'll equate to thousands of lives. So we started this program about 2 years ago. We made it into a national program just to give veteran suicide awareness. And this is something that we've never done before. We actually sponsored a sports team, a car racing team in IndyCar, with Jimmy Johnson driving the car, the former NASCAR driver. And we ran races for a couple of years, and the car is called the Be the One car now, and it's actually really gained popularity, and it's actually spread the word about veteran suicide all across the nation. So the second part of that is bringing this suicide awareness and suicide prevention down to the local level. We have 12,000 plus Legion posts all around the world. And what better way is to make them into resource centers for veterans that will step forward and speak about what's going on in their lives. But before we do that, we have to destigmatize veterans stepping forward. A lot of them, you need courage to step forward and tell somebody about your problems. That's a huge issue. So what we're trying to do is to get members of American Legion posts or members of the community involved that will do what they call a buddy check. The buddy check is integral in checking on the well-being of a veteran. So that's a big part of it. And another part of it is to make sure that veteran that's going to step forward has a trusting relationship with whoever they're going to speak to, because there's a paranoia out there among veterans that are in struggling situations that their information will not be held private, and that there will be repercussions like losing their family members or losing their kids or security clearances, all different things like that. So whoever starts that buddy check has to have a trusting relationship, and that they will get that veteran immediate help within the community. So that's available through various different ways. One of them is the Veterans Crisis Line. The new number is 988 extension 1. That's a big resource. But there's a lot of local resources that people don't know about within their own communities. There's nonprofits out there that already work on veteran suicide, and that helps. And then we need to know that the veteran also needs to know we want to get their families involved. So we want to make sure that we invite the families into our Legion posts or into our communities. So that number one, that the family knows that we're there to help. But number two is somebody in that family may say something that the veteran won't say, and that will trigger a response from our whoever that buddy is that's going to get them the help. So really,
Right.
it's a community-based program. We want to make sure that whoever starts those conversations knows how to start those conversations. You know, there's local training, there's VA training, there's Legion training available. But the main thing is that we want to save one veteran's life every day. That's why it's Be the One. The numbers are the numbers. You know, we don't know how much credibility is in them. It really doesn't matter. It does matter on how many veterans are taking their lives. 125,000 veterans have taken their lives since 9/11, and 6,000 a year right now. And it's also prevalent in the active duty military, and it's active in the National Guard and the reserves. It's a travesty.
It is. It is very much so. Well, as you say, there's 12,500 posts across the nation.
Yep.
And regions overseas, of course. Now, that's something like 1.8 million odd members. Let me ask you this. You're hoping that Americans use this coming Veterans Day as a time to remember and honor all who have served in the U.S. military since the nation's founding.
Yes.
Why is the American Legion so strongly advocating for special immigrant visa applications right now?
You know, there are a special group of people over in Afghanistan and Iraq that became language interpreters for us while we're in the combat mission. And living in a country like that doesn't enjoy the freedoms that we enjoy, that's really taking a risk. And we promised as a nation to bring those people back to the United States when this war started winding down, to give them permanent residency here. I think that's the least we could do for people that stuck their necks out and helped our troops succeed and saved many lives while we were over there. There's a bill before Congress right now called the Afghan Adjustment Act. We want to make sure that we advocate for that bill and we bring those people back here, so well deserved.
Yes, it's unsung heroes, all right. I believe you will be traveling overseas soon. You will be traveling. So is anything connected to that? What's the purpose of your trip there?
The purpose of the trip, we're going to Pearl Harbor naturally for the ceremony, remembering the people that were killed during the Pearl Harbor attack back in 1941. But we're also going to Okinawa in Japan to visit the troops on the bases over there, to let them know that we're here for them, we advocate for them, and that whatever they need, that we'll make sure that we advocate. And not only that, I just want to talk to the troops while I'm over there and see how their feelings are and see how they're being treated in the military. And there's some issues in the military right now that the quality of the living conditions, things like that we want to address with them.
Yeah, well, you've got big shoes to fill. Congrats on your first year. Are you settling in okay?
I'm settling in.
That's the way. Who can join the American Legion, for my listeners? What are some of the things that is it easy to do? It's
easy to do. It's you can go online to join. The eligibility is anybody who has served, any veteran that served since December 7th, 1941, under honorable discharge or a general with honorable conditions can join. And it's just simple as going online to legion.org and signing up. And we urge new members to get active in our posts. It's not mandatory. They can become paper members if they want. But the more members we have, the more voice we have on Capitol Hill.
Right. Well, as you say, veterans served this country. Now it's time to return the favor. And of course, Veterans Day is approaching, listeners, now. The
Yes,
American Legion National Commander, Vincent Jim Troiola, he's asking you to check this out. Be the one to save a life. There's just too many suicides. It's ridiculous. It's a travesty, as Jim says. Thank you, sir. All the best, with your trip, what you're trying to do, and with this campaign. It's an important mission, and we wish you all the best with it.
Thank you so much for having me. Well, Thank you.